So the next sukta we are going to take up is the Aikamatya Sukta or the Ekamati. See, Aikamatya comes from the, when you look at the etymology, it is Ekamati, that is one mind. So this is incidentally the very last sutra of Rigveda. The last sukta, that is as we studied in the earlier Shastra Vichara, Rigveda is the earliest of the divisions of the Veda, and among them there are 10 mandalas and 8 ashtakas. The 10 mandal, different way of classifying the same mantras. So at the end of the 10th mandala, the last one, there is a sukta number 191, and that is the Aikamatya Sukta. So as we always study every mantra, we have to know Rishi, Devata, Chandas. So there is in the text itself who is the Rishi, Devata and Chandas, but for sake of completeness, the Devata of the first mantra is Agni. Just as the Devata of the first mantra of the entire Rigveda was also Agni. Agnimile Purohitam. So we started with the contemplation upon Agni, and we end the Rigveda also on the contemplation of Agni. This is how any Shastra, when we study Upakrama and Upasamhara, must be there. That is, there must be a perfect beginning. The perfect beginning is contemplation on Agni, and Upasamhara, the perfect ending, is also a contemplation on Agni. However, it is only the first of these 4 mantras which is by the address to Agni. And of course, we will see which are the Devata, Rishi and Chandas of the next of the mantras. So, on the face of it, this mantra, the first mantra, which is the very first mantra, is Om Sam Samidyo Vase Vrishannagne Vishwan Yarya A Ilaspade Samidya Sesano Vasunya Bhara. So if you look at just the translation of the words, this is what lot of Western people have done. If you look at many Western translations, how do they do that? They just take the word Agnim. We are now going to worship Agni. Some it means things that are there in the whole universe, and then that's all collect, and then collect all of them. So in the whole universe, many things of wealth are there which I am interested. Say, for example, I am interested in dal, I am interested in rice, I am interested in vegetables. And especially in this time when there is shortage on the shelves, then what happens? You may have to go to 10 different stores to get the 10 different things. See how this must have been the problem in the earlier days also. That is how those who study the Sukta only on the face of it would infer. So, hey Agni, go everywhere and then collect whatever is required, and then come and give us a showering of that. Pour everything. You ask for 1 bag of rice, you get 10 bags of rice. So let there be plenty. Vrishan means one who showers. This comes from the root vrish, varsha, the Sanskrit word varsha, meaning rain, is the origin is vrishan. Hey Agni, Vishwani, from all corners of the universe, Aryaha, the Vedic word Aryaha means all the wealth, whatever wealth there is in the universe. Aryaha, near us, you bring it. So go search everywhere, and then you collect all those wealthy things and come and drop it in our lap because we are worshipping you. Agni is the one who showers comforts, and then he brings us valuable, precious wealth. Wherever it is, you go and bring. Why? Because you are capable of assembling all that. That's why we are worshipping you. Sam yuvate it. Sam samidyuvase is the, if you break the words, some you will say, some means collecting, sangrahya in Sanskrit. Collecting, some means sangrahya, collecting everywhere, you assemble all the wealth from different directions. And then Vishwani Aryaha, it is because, how can you collect, just because, can you just go to any store and then you say, you give me this, and just simply bring it? You may have to pay money for that, or you may have to beg so many. But Agni is not like that. Because he is a Vishwani, he is the Lord of everything in the universe. And he knows you, he owns everything. So you bring everything. And then where should you bring? Ilaspade. Ila means earth. Actually, Ila means this Yajna Vedi. We are sitting in front of this Yajna Kunda, and then we are offering the oblations. You take our oblations, and then you go all over the world, Vishwani, and then whatever samit, all those good things are there, you bring it and bring it here. And then you give it to us. So this is how you will see many of the translations that are done by some of the Western scholars. But actually, what is it? This has to be looked at in the philosophical perspective. Because Veda Vidya has nothing to do with the mundane everyday things. It is for the upliftment of the self, for something exalted. Now let us look at the same from a Vedic perspective, how we should interpret the Veda. Here, all the wealth, that is abhara. Abhara means all that wealth of knowledge. Enormous amount of knowledge is spread all over the world, unit by unit. Why all over the world? Even look around us. Every one of you has specialized in different disciplines. How can one person be able to know every one of those disciplines? So what do? We all come together in an assembly. This is what hopefully we will do for the 2020 project. In the 2020 project, 20 different subjects are taken. Each subject is a world in itself. And in those subjects, each one of you are spending enormous amount of energy and time in learning those things and then focusing on that. And then all of you come to Ilaspade. And that Ilaspade is this Ila, this location, either virtual or real, this location, all of us will come and assemble and bring that energy of knowledge. And that energy of knowledge is called Agni. And what does this Agni represent? That Agni in each and every one of you who has illumined your mind in studying and learning that chosen subject which you have chosen. Agni is illumining your mind. Another person, Agni is illumining that subject in his mind. And all of you come to this Yajna Vedi, this place of assembly, and then bring that every unit of that knowledge that everyone has. Who should bring? The Agni in you, the Agni in him, the Agni in her. Every one of those is one Agni which brings all these units of knowledge together to this Yajna Vedi, this assembly of our conversation. And then the knowledge that you bring is actually a priceless treasure. So when this mantra says, you bring me all the priceless treasures from everywhere, here the Rishi is asking, bring all the priceless treasure of knowledge from every corner. We are not asking for rice, dal and so please don't misunderstand. Yes, because that is something that we can get. And this is again written by a Rishi. And these Rishis have actually wedded to a life of great simplicity. In fact, whether in terms of food or whether in terms of clothing, they are the most frugal. And for them, they are not asking for gold, diamonds, and none of that. They are asking only for jnana. And then, O Agni, knowledge is the wealth, the greatest wealth. And then with knowledge, all wealth can be obtained. In fact, it is very, very interesting. It must be within your own experience. As our vidya and as our knowledge increases, proportionately our desires decrease. Proportionately. This has to be experienced to be felt. One dhoti you need, two dhotis you need. Why do you need anything more? For a person who is a jnani, for him, anything that is not used by him is not his. Ma gridha kasya suddhanam. Ishavasya Upanishad says. So, knowledge is wealth. The greatest wealth is knowledge. O Agni, bring me more and more jnana, sam jnana. That's why this is also called as sam jnana sukta. Sam, samyak, sangrihya, more and more jnana. It means move. So wherever that knowledge is there, you go and move. So to move something, you need energy. And that energy is called Agni. As in many times I have parsed the word Agni, Agani. That which is not moving, it makes it move. And then Yuvase. Here what is meant by Yuvase? Yuvase means from the root Yu, means to bind. So Yuvase means you are the one who unites and binds it. How? Vrishan, powerfully, because here the same root vrisha also means to have power. One is to shower, another is to have power. With what? With the supreme energy of Parabrahman. So, O Agni, may more and more and more jnana of the universe come and move into us. Because when we open our minds and hearts for knowledge, then what happens? Agni, who brings all those knowledge, he will make it move into us. So when does knowledge elude us? It is only when we shut the door. And therefore here, Ilaspade, in this Yajna-kunda of my mind, where there is the glow of Agni, I have kept my mind and the heart open. And you go and collect some, you will say, all of them collect, bring them together, classify them, harmonize them, and then you put it into me, unite that knowledge. Good. Unite that knowledge with what? Already the whole knowledge base is there available. Unite it with what? Unite it with my mind and my thought. Because what we know and what we think of should be the same. Lot of times what we know and what we think, there is a discord, isn't it? What do we know? We know the concept of jnana, vairagya, we know the concept of dharma, we know the concept of aparigraha, we know the concept of anasuya, all those knowledge is there. But then that knowledge is not united with, it's not united with the thought. So the Rishi is asking here, Vasuni Avara. Vasuni has got two meanings. Vasu means all wealth. Vasu also means all our indriyas with the angas, with the senses and the sense organs. They are also known as Vasus. So with these Vasus, you and the intellect, all this knowledge, you bind it. You will say, you who is the binder. And we all know very well that Agni is indeed the binder. How do you weld? How do you weld two pieces of metals? Agni, isn't it? So here I have got my jnana of my mind, my intellect. There is the jnana coming from the universe, and both of them have to be welded together. And for this welding, we need this jnana jyoti. Next what? This jnana jyoti, which comes through not only in my mind, in my thought, but that thought should come out in speech. Isn't it? What is the quality of jnana? What is the quality of our knowledge? Our speech should demonstrate what we think. That is why a Rishi's Vakya is a mantra. Why Rishi's Vakya is a mantra? Because what he thinks is what comes out in his speech. So hey Agni, make sure that I think with all the knowledge that you have given to me. Then what happens? The consequence is no bad words will come with our mouth. How can any bad word come out with our mouth when there is no bad thought? So therefore what this Agni does is burn away all our thoughts which are evil, with all the samsamidyuvase, some which are there, samgrakya, sangrikya, all this jnana from the universe, and then embeds it into our knowledge, and that becomes the thought. And now when it becomes the thought, then it starts showing through the body. Because Vasuni is the Indriyas and Indriya Angas. So this is called as the Tejas of the Sharira. You can see people who are full of jnana, there is a special luster in them. So how did they get that luster, that jnana? It is because whatever they think on the Yajnavedi of their awareness is the knowledge that has been brought by Agni because of our prayer. Then what happens? Even our body will glow with jnana. Obviously, the speech will glow with jnana. This is what Kalidasa was telling in the Raghuvamsha about the kings of Raghu dynasty. Akara sadrisha prajnaha, prajnaya sadrisha agamaha, agamais sadrisha arambha, arambha sadrishodayaha. That was the quality of the kings. Akara sadrisha prajnaha. Those kings had a majestic form. And with the majestic form, as majestic the form was, so was their wisdom. Akara is the form, sadrisha, comparable, prajnaha, wisdom. So what is the use of a very beautiful body and a wisdom which is of no use? Because there are a lot of people who just fade away in oblivion. Prajnaya sadrishagamaha. Appropriate to their wisdom, that is how they would actually plan their activity. And then agamaihi sadrisharambha. According to the plan, according to the design, they begin. Arambha sadrishodayaha. As powerfully as they begin, so powerfully they end. And that proof is given in the Rigveda itself. The first mantra is Arambha, beautiful, perfect beginning. And then the last mantra to Agni is also a perfect ending. Agnim ile purohitam. We are worshipping Agni at the altar, who is benevolent to us even before we ask him. Purohita. A Purohita is one who is thinking of our welfare even before we think about it. That's why the noble Purohitas of the olden times always came to our homes to say, these are the things that you have to do at this particular point of time. And there was a time when all the householders, the Grihasthas, also very, very seriously followed the recommendations of the Purohita. Purohitas were like that, the Grihastha also was like that. And when the Purohita becomes greedy, what happens? The Grihastha becomes defensive. So, Arambha Sadrishodayaha, you can see in the Rigveda how there is a perfect beginning and there is a perfect ending. And now we have got to see, now that we have, each one of us have, all that we have done, when we come together, what do? When we come together, do we sit and argue and challenge each other only from our point of view, or is it going to be a synergy of everybody coming together? And so the next mantra is Sangachadvam. And we will see how each individual knowledge transfers into a collective effort. That we will see in the next class. Thank you.